Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now. Da 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 da. Well, here I am, VooTube. It's me. It's Gertie Bleeding Rude on the Saturday morning. Well, I'm on here to be rude, aren't I? I mean, it's the name on the tin, isn't it? So there you go. Well, today I found us these bleeding creatures. Now, I want to ask everybody on this Saturday morning, or wherever you are in the world, because it's probably all different times, isn't it? No matter where you are. And I mean, it could be the middle of the night for you. And I do feel sorry if you're awake with your iPad and you see these creatures pop up. So I will in advance apologise. Yes, I will. Now, I need to posit this one simple question. Why is everyone rejecting Harry and Meggie? Why? VooTube, come on! I mean, they're authentic, they're philanthropic, they're classy, they've got loads of style. I mean, they're amazeballs, aren't they? They really are, VooTube viewers. Well, say amazeballs. I don't think he's got any balls at all. I think she took them off back in about May Summit 2018. But anyway, so I thought we'd discuss and peruse this here question that is being, well, it's being posed. Why is everyone rejecting Harry and Meghan? Should we leap in and just see what they've got to say? Yes, let's do it. Come on.
To rejection.
Yes.
It looks like everyone has grown tired of their drama, not just royal fans.
Yes.
The world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix.
Right.
And now the streaming giants are questioning the couple's work ethic.
Funny, because I thought the biggest victims at the moment are like children living in war-torn countries. Yes, that's what I thought. Or living in grotty ghettos, or even living on sink estates in Britain or Western world or whatever. Or maybe the kids in Paris and France at the moment are pretty scared. And yes, I should think they are more deserving of our pity. But no, come on, let's carry on pitying these two. We should, all two. Yes, we should. Poor Meggie and Haz. They've only got themselves rejected, and they've two viewers. Who'd have thought?
And productivity. Did Meghan really fake her Archetypes podcast?
There's nothing about her she don't fake. And I'm not going to say anything more because I'll probably get myself back on VooTube. Won't I, VooTube viewers? But I bet you anything when she's with Baz, that's one big fake and all, isn't it, VooTube? Oh, yes, it is. We've all seen the pornos, haven't we? Yes! Very good at faking.
It's their multi-million deal with
Yes,
Netflix
of course she was
at risk.
enjoying it. It's hard to tell.
And what might be next for the Sussexes?
Right.
Harry and Meghan recently lost their deal with Spotify. Markle's podcast Archetypes was cancelled after only 1 season and 12 episodes.
No.
This is a huge loss.
Oh, no. It's a huge loss, not only to them. It's a huge loss to humanity, isn't it? I mean, how are we ever going to get, well, examples of humanitarian peoples if we ain't got your Baz and your Megxie and your WOKO Ono? No. I mean, look at her. She wears every colour of beige and she wears them all very well now, doesn't she, VooTubers? And look at him. He's always got his hand in there to let everybody know I'm a member of the stone cutting crew. Have a look. Look, I've got my hand in there. That's what we do. It's a secret sign. Yes. So everybody's got to, well, pull strings for Pazza. Yes. Yes, here we go. And, oh, I forgot. His daddy's a king. Yes!
For the Sussexes, as the contract was worth $25 million. They'd planned to release multiple series on the streaming service.
Right.
And it was also one of their major commercial agreements after Megxit happened.
Fancy having to drive that clapped out old car on their bleeding wedding reception, eh? What a bleeding cheek.
For the Duchess, it seemed to be quite a successful endeavour. In her podcast, she discussed stereotypes around high-profile women.
No, she didn't. She discussed stereotypes that she perceives as being attributed to her through the MSM and social media and the whole bloody world, actually, to be fair. So, come on, it's Mariah Scary. She's got a rather large décolletage, hasn't she, VooTubers?
Such as Mariah Carey and Serena Williams. Last December, Archetypes won a People's Choice Award in Los Angeles, and Meghan was...
that she must have bought, because I've never listened to so much tripe in my own bleeding life. That's what it should have been called, arch tripe. Yes, the archetype of tripe, that's what it was. It was just a bleeding pity fest and an ego trip, wasn't it, really, VooTubers? All of it, every last long second that I had to listen to that nonsense. And to be fair, I would have quite liked to hear what old Mariah Scary's got to say. And Serena. Yes. Why don't they do a bleeding podcast, the two of them? That's what they should do. I think they're missing a trick. But just don't get WOKO on it because they won't get a word in bleeding edgeways. No, they won't.
Reportedly developing new
Yoko.
episodes. But the podcast didn't get to live on. Supposedly, it failed to produce enough content to justify the $90 million payout.
It failed to produce enough content to be worthy of a $5, let alone 20 million. Listen, if she asked for a $5 to me to listen to that nonsense, I'd expect about £4.99 change. Yes, I would.
Actually, the podcast ended up sounding like a very, very kind of bland, run-of-the-mill interview podcast.
What's more, nasty.
I must be honest, I have never, in all my years on YouTube, ever heard a podcast that is anywhere near as dull, as witless, and as they say, bland as that load of old nonsense.
Tales started to come out about archetypes.
Yeah.
According to a report, Meghan actually faked some of the episodes. Ostensibly, when her guests went to their interviews, the Duchess was...
As I've said before, we all knew that at the time. Content creators on social media all knew that she'd actually, well, someone else had interviewed the expert people. I mean, she got her nose in on the so-called celebrities, which, of course, were thin on the ground apart from Serena and Mariah. I mean, the rest of them, not being funny, none of them heard of. Well, I haven't heard of them, but I mean, I'm everybody, aren't I? So I am part of the crowd. And if I say I haven't heard of Jammy Bling Jilly and whoever else that escapes me, you know, I'm probably not alone, am I, VooTubers? So, yeah, I mean, most people didn't even, they just sent a request, returned to sender, wasn't it? Yes, or just binned it, pretended they never received it.
Wasn't even there.
Someone else conducted the interviews and they sort of cut her questions in over the top.
Yeah, well,
various people.
That's a trick that people do. Obviously, when you're busy, that is the sort of thing you do when you're an A-list interviewer. You know, not some little madam wannabe that just thinks she is. I ain't going to talk to the little people like the experts. No, I'll get the producer or someone else taking this. One of me minions. Yes, I had 20-odd producers, didn't I? They can do it and then I can just voice over it. Yes, I can. Because you know what? I love to hear the sound of my own voice. Yes, I do, VooTubers. Obviously, that's not me, that's WOKO.
Involved in the podcast confirmed it. And perhaps due to Meghan's ambiguous reputation, some celebrities refused to join the podcast. Like Taylor Swift, for example. The Duchess wrote her a personal letter, but the singer decided pass on the offer. And not
good old Taylor Swift.
only did Spotify cancel Archetypes, they also didn't want to develop other projects by the Sussexes. Harry allegedly pitched his own podcast idea to Spotify. The Prince wanted to interview such figures as Donald Trump and Mark Zuckerberg about their childhood traumas.
I'm not being funny. Can you imagine old Zuck with Harry? That would be however long the podcast, say it's for an hour. That would be like watching paint dry for an hour because he's interesting and Harry's bleeding. Well, not interesting. And I mean, Zuckerberg is well, he's like a bleeding Borg, isn't he, really? It's hard to believe he's actually got a beating heart, isn't it, poor old Zuck? I think it's been, I don't know, it's been flagellated cyberly out of him. So, yeah, I mean, that would be like a bleeding personality bypass having them two, wouldn't it? God almighty, you would need probably a bottle of vodka or something to get through that.
And he also wanted to speak to Pope Francis about religion. But the execs were unimpressed by the idea and rendered it impossible to land those guests, failing to come up with anything new.
I'm Prince Azzy, you know, I'm Bazza. I'm king of the bleeding world, I am. Yes, I am. The royals wouldn't let me be king in England, so I just left and went to America. And now, well, me and me missus here, we're going to be king and queen of America. And we all know that America's in charge of the world, so there you go. And we aren't World Economic Forum stooges. No, we're not. We're not here just to divert the public from, well, massive things that are happening politically, economically and socially and culturally right across the globe. No, that's not my part. Well, it isn't my part. It might be her part. But, you know, I'm here for love. Yeah, I love her. Yes, I do. I'm lovey. Mind you, she never lets me near her, but you know what I mean. I live in hope of a bit of a, well, I can't say on VooTube.
Sussexes didn't meet the productivity standard required by Spotify, so they didn't even receive the full value of their contract.
Yes.
However, Harry and Meghan's media company, Archwell Audio, later made a joint statement with Spotify. It revealed that they'd mutually agreed to part ways.
Oh, BS. They got the sack. They got the Evo, didn't they? Go on, go through the door and don't let it hit you on the big fat bum on your way out.
But not everyone believed it.
No.
As of now, the Sussexes still have a 5-year deal with Netflix, which they signed in 2020. It's supposed to bring them $100 million for producing documentaries, feature
God.
films, scripted shows, and children's programs. So this contract...
Think of anything worse than having to listen to that bleeding old nonsense and her bleeding claws gesticulating, Gertie, you mad old boot.
Has been another important source of income for the couple.
Yeah.
After all, they no longer receive money from Harry's family since they quit their royal duties and moved to the US.
He's bloody 38 years old. Why should the family pay for him? Here, I'm going to ring my mum and say, listen up, mum, you should be paying my bleeding bills, you should. Yes, you should. And you should be paying for all my food to get... Well, that's a lot of money, isn't it, if you think of it. I know I'm sylph-like, but I do take quite a lot of looking after. Mind you, I wouldn't have any luck ringing my mum, would I? No, I wouldn't. I mean, she's been dead for bleeding decades. I'll give it a go, though.
But still, they never stopped cashing in on the royal fame, and it helped them amass quite a fortune.
I might actually give me dead mum a ring, actually, because old Mexie seems to get through to Diana, so I might get some luck. You never know.
Their net worth is estimated between $10 and $60 million. And Netflix brought them a large part of that due to the success of their show.
Right.
Harry and Meghan became the second most watched documentary.
Oh, bloody Harry and Meghan, the bleeding soap opera full of a load of old hooey. Oh, I can't. It's 3 minutes 16 into this bleeding crap. We've got about another 6 minutes to go, VooTube. I can't. Shall we? Oh, please.
Documentary on the streaming service.
Help!
Apart from that, the Prince appeared in various TV shows and gave...
Yes, to which they cleared the audience. There was no audience there. Yeah, it was canned laughter. Bleeding idiot.
Interviews.
He gets more idiotic by the day, doesn't he?
He discussed exclusive details about his life as a royal.
Right.
Many people have said it's all been nothing but unquestioned self-promotion.
Yes.
His actions angered the royal family, as well as those who admired...
It's been overly dramatic, histrionic, hyperbolic, load of old BS. That's what it's been. From the first day they started to this present second. Yes, it has, VooTubers. And with that, I'm going to go before I actually bust a bleeding blood vessel in my brain. Bye-bye now.